Hello, hi, welcome to Eclectic Symmetry. My name's Caleb, and this is yet another episode in my Visualizing the Fretboard through Basic Musical Math Guitar Class series. In this episode, I will be teaching a method to use letters to map numbers, and use visualizing where your notes are on the fretboard, your letters A through G, as a backdoor to learning your modes and scales, your 7 primary. There are more than just 7, but we're going to be focused on the primary. But yeah, anyway, I'm about to play the equivalent of all the whole notes throughout the neck, and consequentially I'll be playing the modes and scales. We're going to build each of these modes off of the top E string, starting on the 10th fret, which is a D. And then we'll progress down the neck till we end at an open E. And I'll call out the mode that I'm about to play, and then I'll call out the notes that I'm playing, and then I'll play through the whole mode real quick and move on. If you stick around till the end of the video, I'll teach how to play both a Locrian and an Ionian scale overlapped. So you'll be able to call out the scale set for that space with confidence. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. D, Dorian. That's the mode. Dorian. D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Dorian. Made a bit of a mistake there, played the same note twice. Some of these modes, these sets, these spaces that I'm playing, you can make mistakes on. Some of them you can't, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, keep an eye out for my Practice With Me series. I'll point out where that's at and how to properly avoid that. But anyway, let's move on without mistakes. C, Ionian. C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Ionian. B, Locrian. B, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Locrian. Moving on. A, Aeolian. You'll notice D, Dorian, A, Aeolian. It's a cool little coincidence. But A, Aeolian. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Aeolian. Mixolydian. G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Mixolydian. F, Lydian. F, G, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Lydian. Phrygian. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Phrygian. And yeah, that was the equivalent of every single whole note on the fretboard. But yeah, if you stuck around this long, thanks for watching. And here's the beginning of the practice I've been going through developing in my time to get my memory up to a point where I can do that with confidence every single time. And it all starts with something I like to call the BCEF box walk. You couple that with knowing your beads, and I'll get to that in a second. And that'll help you make these visualize where the notes are, make the memory of that a little more concrete. So here's what the BCEF box walk is and looks like. So yeah, that was every single B, C, E, and F note on the entire fretboard. And I can say that with confidence because of the anatomy of my guitar. It's only got 2 spots for one individual string. I can play a note, you know, so on the top E string I can play a G here and I can play a G here. So yeah, that was every single B, C, E, and F note. You couple that with your beads, and by that I mean, on the 7th fret, cool little fact, it's the only fret in standard tuning that spells a word. It spells bead, B-E-A-D. So you have the B, C, E, F box at the top, and bead, and that opens up a lot. So that's what I'm about to jump in and teach. We're going to start with the easiest location for the B, C, E, F box walk, and that's the 7th fret because it's a little more jumbled down here and it's uniform up at the 7th fret. So before we continue, why the B, C, E, F box walk? That's a ridiculous name. Yeah, I mean, that's just what I like to call it. It helps me it stick out. The more ridiculous tends to be a little more memorable, you know. So why I call it the B, C, E, F box? In music where you have a B and a C right next to each other, the only other letters that are always going to be a half step right next to each other are the E and the F. Because of the way the guitar is tuned to a perfect 4th for wherever you have a B and a C, on the string below that in the exact same fret space you have an E and an F. B, C, E, F. So it's like a neat little box, the B, C, E, F box. And then again, because the way the guitar is tuned to a perfect 4th, that pattern repeats. So you're walking the box up and down the fretboard. So we're going to practice the first step of the B, C, E, F box. So again, we're starting on the 7th fret because that's the easiest location to remember. It's more uniform. So we're going to focus on just playing it with 2 fingers. Register, it's the 7th fret. I mean, if you're new to guitar, you could count it up from the open strings. It's usually going to be the 3rd dot up, depending on the guitar. It's almost always easy to tell, or should be, where the 12th fret is. So if you're new to guitar and you can't tell by the dot with the guitar, you have a quick method. 4 fingers, you place them on 4 frets next to each other, start at the 12th fret, push it down 1, and at the end of that you'll have the 7th fret, because 11 minus 4 is 7. Right, so quick way to always know where that's at. And again, that spells bead, B-E-A-D. But yeah, we're going to focus just these 2, play the top part of the box, and you'll notice at the bottom half of the box, at the F, B, C, E, F, you have the pattern repeats. There's a box here, E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C, E, F. So as you're doing this practice, think that's the sound of a B, sound of a C, E, F, so on and so forth. Also try to register the frets that you're on, that you're playing. You could couple the numbers and the letters together to make both of those a little more concrete. So if we call out, we know that the E and the F are always going to be on the bottom half of the box, right? So if we're starting with the B and the C in the top, B, C, 7, 8, calling out the frets. B, C, 7, 8, 9, 10, because we've already covered B, C, right? B, C, 7, 8, 9, 10, E, F. B, C, 7, 8, 9, 10, E, F. So if you want to take a second to pause the video, just practice that until you're bored in the face. When you get bored with that, try practicing with your ring finger and pinky. If you're new to guitar, it'll feel a little less natural, but it's good for general finger patterns later on, so it's good to make that connection early. But yeah, you can switch up like that, and when you're bored with that, use all 4 fingers. And again, B, C, 7, 8, 9, 10, E, F. B, C, 7, 8, 9, 10, E, F. And when you're practice that so much you just can't take anymore, practice a little bit more. Make a little bit song out of that, limiting yourself to only being able to play chords or scales within that box space. It can be random. The point of it is to really make it concrete where it's at. If you can make it sound good, freaking fantastic. But yeah, when you're bored and ready to move forward, it's super easy to connect the other letters from there, because you know between a C and a D there's an interval, and same down here. So the B, C, D, E, F, G, and the lower half of the box, the interval just switches to the opposite side. So A, B, C, D, E, F, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. And it's all in sequence, so it's easy to call out the letters if you're playing the pattern properly. B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So yeah, how we're actually going to start off most of these practices moving forward, I just wanted to establish that little box, that neat little pattern going on. But for the rest of the modes and scales, how I'm going to start off each of these practices is playing the top and the bottom strings, so both E strings, because no matter how much the pattern may vary, as long as it's in standard tuning, both the E strings are going to be the same pattern, so you'll be able to close it out the same way that you opened it, essentially. So yeah, we'll practice B, C, D, 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 B, C, D. And when you get bored, make a little song out of it. It doesn't have to sound good, whatever. The point is to just connect the sound with the fret and the pattern. And how we open up, we're gonna open up the practices from here on after, is play the next string that has the same pattern as those two. For pretty much all of these, there's always going to be at least one string that has the same pattern. So in this case, again, returning to the B, C, E, F box, we know that the B, C, bottom half box, you know, E, F, yada yada yada, so that means the string right below it has the same pattern. But let's connect the B string, where things change a little bit. So typically, you would have the next whole note right below where the B, C, D, E, F, G, that's going to be a D. B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. It would be right below the D, the next whole note. But because the B string is tuned to the 4th fret, the 3rd note in the G's major scale, that moves that pattern up one. So it's going to be between the D and the E notes. You have the G sitting on the string in between them, the B string. So on the 8th fret. So B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F in between. And again, it's easy just to follow the letters here because they're all in sequence. B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And yeah, that was a whole of a Locrian scale. So what makes it a Locrian is the spatial math behind it. And here we're going to get in a little bit into the numbers and what's going on here. If you start it at a C instead of the B, it's an Ionian because of the numbers behind it. Between the first, in this case, being an Ionian, the C, you have an interval, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whereas if you started at B, it's going to be 1, 2 flat, 3 flat, 4, 5 flat, 6 flat, 7 flat, 8. So it essentially has, if it was the equivalent to how the chords are laid out on a piano, it would be the full of all the sharps and flats, the black keys. And it would only have 2 white keys, the first and the 4th. So a C, that's going to be a C and an F. So from right, yada yada yada, this is a C, and this is an F. But yeah, you can play an easy Ionian and Locrian scale, just depending on whether you start at the C or the B. So yeah, this is the beginning, the easiest spot to start visualizing where this is all laid out. On the fretboard, if you stuck around for this long, thanks for watching. This has been Caleb with Eclectic Symmetry, and excuse me, I say keep an eye out for some of my future videos. Next we're going to cover Dorian scale.